Hello, everyone. My name is Jeanette Martin of MYBC Consulting, and every once in a while I pop by and into Andy Schildhorn's real estate page because we chat about catching up. Hi, Andy. How's it going?
Hey, very good. How are you today?
Very well. You know what? We did this, 2 months ago? Maybe 3 months ago?
Yeah, I like to do it once every month.
Yeah. You know what? And you barely had enough time to kind of sit down and chat with me because it was crazy the last time we were chatting about the real estate industry.
Yes, yeah, the market was extremely volatile and very enthusiastic. But we are seeing a bit of a change, and summer months are here. The COVID relaxation has slowed down the market a little bit because I think people are starting to think about other things like get the hell out of town and visit friends and relatives that they haven't seen for a year. I'm sure that Kelowna, Vernon, Osoyoos, all those places are seeing a surge of people coming in.
Yeah, exactly. So do you happen to have any facts and figures you could share with us today?
Well, I certainly do. Can you?
Okay, so yeah, I've got share screen because I'm fascinating. Numbers fascinate me. They don't lie, as they say.
Yeah. Okay. So like what I've got here, this is the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board's months of inventory, all asset classes. And this goes back a couple of years. And you can see that here, this is the balanced market. And this means that when we actually have enough homes for sale. And historically, since 2015, we have been under inventory. And once once buyers and sellers had dealt with the mortgage stress test, we can see a decline of inventory. And whenever, of course, everything is built on demand, whenever we have a decline of inventory, that means a decline of pricing. And of course, there we were like down to almost a month and a half worth of inventory in January, February, March. So from there, though, we actually had a big surge in pricing. Here's detached homes. Here's townhouses and condos, but we are hitting a peak here. This is maybe a little bit of affordability. This is buyer fatigue. This is getting the hell out of town. So with that, we're seeing a bit of topping of the market. So we can probably see maybe a few good deals out there. And then from here, I'm looking at Langley. And of course, Langley's inventory is well below the balanced market. Condos a little bit higher, but detached homes and townhouses are very low in terms of inventory.
Can I just pause you just for a second? And if we can go back to that one slide. So is this telling me when you say inventory is below the balanced market, is that a good thing, or do you need some more inventory on out there?
Well, yeah, we need more inventory, and being below in this range, under balanced, means that it is a seller's market. We're still in the seller's market, very much so. Maybe not as enthusiastic, maybe not as crazy, but it is still, we're still in a seller's market. And this is, we're talking about the township of Langley. And so here we can see this is pricing from last year, June. And June is when the market started to take off with from last year. And then you can see how the average price was $1,044,200, and now it is almost 30% higher at $1,383,000. So housing prices did jump considerably in this first 6 months of this year, but you can see too that we're starting to level off a bit. And I think that yes, it is. People are starting to get out. People are starting to look at other things in their life because of the restrictions that are coming up. But I'm looking at the future, though. I'm thinking that with low interest rates and with maybe better immigration, because our immigration has been on hold for over a year now, that we're going to see another surge probably in September and October. So that if you do see something that's worthwhile, now is the time to make that purchase. And
so just to springboard on that, when you say the immigrant population, what type of property would an immigrant typically be looking for? Because I know you've been in this industry for a long time. Is there a property that would work well if you were interested in selling for?
No, I think it's a wide variety. I can think of one client I had. He was a programmer, computer programmer, working for a fairly well-established company. He was young. He had a wife, a young child. and they bought their condo, and then they moved up to a townhouse. And but they didn't have their NP status yet, and so they
Okay.
had to pay the foreign buyer's tax, which I thought was a little bit disgraceful, because here we had welcomed him into our country. He had worked for a year, but he didn't quite have his status yet, and had to pay the foreign buyer's tax. But anyways, our immigration is based on many different things, and primarily it is from the rest of Canada that brings in people into BC, and those people will be buying. So it's a wide variety of people and a wide variety of market. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of people coming from Ontario and Alberta, because BC has the best weather, it has the best housing, and we are living in the center of the world.
I'd have to agree with you there.
Yes. Yeah, so that's my market update. It's looking good. I think that we'll see a little bit of a plateau for a while, but after that we could see the market continue on in a fairly strengthened manner.
Okay, well, that's great. So now let's move on to community. We share that we're part of, both of us are part of the Fort Langley Jazz and Arts Festival.
Yes, yeah.
And when we heard the news about phase 3 and what was opening up, I think we all did a little happy jazz hands in the air of what we are able to do this September long weekend. So do you have any updates on your side? Because you live in Fort Langley, and of course I live out in the valley.
Yeah, well, I mean, we did on the Jazz Festival, we did a really big pivot again. We were going to do a completely digital format like we did last year. It was very intense. It was very, very high quality. It was, and we had some great acts. And this year we're going to have, I think, 3, maybe 4 nights of ticketed events. And on the Saturday, on the long weekend, we are going to have bands in front of the community hall. We'll have live music. It will be a return to what the Jazz Festival should be.
Oh, I can remember I do the social media marketing for the Jazz Festival during the festival. And 2 years ago, Andy, I think the 3 days, we were talking about, it was 47,000 steps on my Fitbit. So I'm looking forward to getting out and covering all the different angles to be able to share about the festival. We're really excited. And let's wrap this up. So you live in Fort Langley. What are some community hotspots that are opening up, or places of business to feature?
Yeah, the restaurants are definitely opened up, with all the COVID restrictions coming off, and Imagine the Scapas is nice here, that they're very busy. Trading Post, Beatniks, Wendell's are booming, so it's time to come back to Fort Langley to enjoy all the restaurants and coffee shops and take that daily stroll, because we are the weekend 1-day destination, which is Fort Langley. Yes.
So do you happen to know, is the fort open for families to go visit inside the fort again?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so, yes. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, Andy, for chatting real estate now, and a little bit extra today about your amazing community that you live in Fort Langley. We look forward to chatting with you again next month, because I know within 30 days, the market can change definitely quickly as well.
Oh, yes, it can. And anyways, Jeanette, thank you for having me. I look forward to seeing you again. And
bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody.